Okay, so here is the D6 video. And before we get started, I just want to point something out. That is if you have a function like this. So A is a constant multiple because it's a constant and it's being multiplied by this function. So A is a constant multiple. If you want to take the derivative of something like this, you just bring the A down. So any constant multiple, any coefficients, I should say, any coefficient, when you're taking a derivative, just gets brought down. And then to take the derivative of f, we don't know what it is, so I'll just say f prime of x. All right? So yeah, this is something to know. Now, I'm going to do this example here. So if we let w of x equal q of x times r of x, given that q of 5 is -1, q prime of 5 is 6, r of 5 is 3, and r prime of 5 is -2, find w prime of 5. So what we need, guys, is w prime. All right. Now, w is a product. So when I do w prime, I need the product rule. So I go bracket prime, bracket, plus bracket, prime. All right, that's the product rule. And then what goes inside the brackets is q and r. So q of x, r of x, q of x, r of x. So w prime of x, well, guys, what's the derivative of q? Remember, we don't know what q is. Well, so so how do we represent the derivative of q? It's just q prime of x. This r of x just comes down, plus q of x just comes down. How do you represent the derivative of r of x? R prime of x. All right, so that's w prime of x. We want w prime of 5. So w prime of 5, you're just plugging 5 in for the x's, okay? So w prime of 5. Did they give us q prime of 5? Yes. That's -1. No. Q prime of 5 is 6, my bad. So q prime of 5 is 6. R of 5 is 3. Q of 5 is -1. R prime of 5 is -2. So that's 18 plus 2. All right, so that's w prime of 5. Okay, now we're going to do this one, and in this one we're going to, this is going to play a role. Okay, actually let me say, so this is just different notation. If I want to do the derivative of a times f of x, you just bring down the coefficient and then do the derivative of the function. Okay, so this time we've got h of x is 9 f of x over 2g of x. Given that f of 0 is 5, f prime of 0 is 1, g of 0 is -4, and g prime of 0 is 2, find h prime of 0. So we need h prime. This is a quotient, so we need the quotient rule. So bracket prime, bracket, minus bracket, bracket prime, all over bracket squared. 9f of x, 2g of x, 9f of x, 2g of x, 2g of x squared. Okay, so h prime of x equals, now the 9 just comes down, f prime of x times 2g of x minus 9, there's really not much room here, times 2g prime of x, all over 2g of x squared. Okay, so now I want h prime of 0. I'll move over here. H prime of 0. So 9 times 2 is 18. So that's 18 f prime of 0, g of 0. Minus, that's another 18. F of 0, g prime of 0, all over 2 g of 0 squared. All right, this is equal to 18 times 1 times negative 4 minus 18, and I'm just getting these values from in here, minus 18 times 5 g prime of 0 times 2, and then this is all over 2 times negative 4, but we're squaring it. Oh, shoot. H prime of 0 equals, all right, I'm going to use a calculator. All right, so this is, okay, so 18 times negative 4 divided by 64. All right, I got negative 63 over 16. Okay, just one more. I think these are kind of fun. It's very like just plug and chug sort of stuff. All right, now v of x equals 3w of x over 4 radical x plus 7. And we're given that w of 1 is negative 3, w prime of 1 is negative 1, and we're going to find v prime of 1. Guys, go ahead of me if you've got this. That'd be a nice exercise. I'm going to try to write smaller. So v prime of x equals, quotient rule again, bracket prime bracket minus bracket prime all over bracket squared. Okay, so that needs to be memorized. Same with product rule. 3w of x. 4. Oh, shoot. That's not a prime there. Primes at the ends only. I'll say 4. I'm not taking the derivative of this, so I'll leave it radical x plus 7. 3w of x. Now, in this one, I need to take the derivative of the denominator, so I'm converting to ax to the n form so that I can use the power rule. And then in the bottom, 4, again, I'm not taking the derivative, I just left it radical x. All right, so let me do the derivatives. So v prime of x is 3w prime of x. And 4 radical x plus 7 just comes down. 3 regular w of x. And now the derivative of this is 2x to the negative 1/2. And then this is all over radical x plus 7 squared. Okay? Then I'm plugging in 1. All right, so we've got v prime of 1 equals 3w prime of 1 times 11, because that's just going to be 4 plus 7, minus w of 1 times 2, because you're just plugging 1 in there, all over 11 squared, because you're just plugging 1 in. And then this will be equal to 3w prime of 1 is negative 1. And then w of 1 is negative 3. I think that's 121, yeah. And then So we're going to have v prime of 1 equals negative 33 plus 6 negative 27 over 121. Alrighty guys, so there's that. I'll talk to you later.